Hello, welcome to another episode of Talking About Rock. I'm your host, Rob Edwards. Here we bring you rock interviews from around the globe. We're always available wherever you get your podcasts on all the streaming services. Follow us on social media at Talking About Rock and on our website, talkingaboutrock.com. Today we have for you Philly, PA rockers Montecarlo. After dropping their debut album, Super Double Fine, in 2022, the band has been working hard in the studio over the last few months and has just released their latest single, Poison in Your Head. It's the first single from the band's upcoming album, Synthetic World, which is set to be released August 11th. Next up, we chat with Bert Lepore and Dan Parsels from Montecarlo on Talking About Rock. Okay, folks, let's welcome to the show Dan and Bert from Montecarlo. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Hey, thanks for joining us today. So, very cool. So you guys really kind of broke with Super Double Fine album last year. And I've been checking out the track for Poison in Your Head. Just a great track. You know, I love the music, love the vocals, you know, and you got that just came out, June 2nd. And you guys getting ready to release Synthetic World, or is it August 11th? Looks like coming out.
Yep.
So very, very cool. So this project, I think, started like during the pandemic. It kind of changed from like a project to like a full band. Is that kind of what happened, Dan?
Yeah, well, as far as the pandemic goes, it was more like Bert and Damien. I was doing like some solo music myself.
Okay.
And I'm trying to learn how to, like, banging my head up against the wall, trying to learn how to record myself at home. And so I put out 3 singles, and I had Damien do the drums. And Damien and I have been working together on and off for close to 20 years. And he and Bert were the ones working on, they probably worked together on and off for 20 years too. And because that's my probably a close guess.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. So is that how they started out for you?
Yeah, we helped each other out. Like at one point, you know, you're always in like a million bands. You do a band for 3 years, it breaks up. You do a band for 2 years. It's the way it goes, I guess, right? So at one point, one of my bands broke up, and I was starting to do a solo thing. And Damien sent me a couple songs. We wrote it. I never put it out because I started doing another project. So I was like, you know what? Instead of doing my own thing, I'll just join this project, kind of like what Dan's doing. And we started playing another project. When Damien's other band broke up or he left, he asked me to do the same thing. So we're like, hey, we got these 2 songs we wrote years ago. Why don't we throw it out there? And we're just going to do a project. It was going to be his solo project, and I was just going to sing a song, maybe 2. And I was going to do my own thing. And got so many hits on it. We were so surprised that we're like, okay, let's try another one. We got hits again, and we're like, wow, this is weird, because the bands we were in before, we weren't getting the hits we're getting now. So we're like, we were confused by it, to be honest. We were like, okay, I don't know how or why, but okay. So then we're like, okay, let's just do a whole EP together. Like, you know, because he was going to get different singers and stuff. He's like, you know, the shit's working so well. Let's just do it.
And that was was that the Hannah EP?
Original Sin. Hannah was on it though. Hannah was on.
Oh, okay.
It's
Hannah
the
was
Original
on
Sin.
Original Sin. Okay.
Yeah. We released Paradise Lost first. It did really well. Hannah did pretty good. And we were like, you know, let's just keep the thing. Dame's like, well, you want to change the name? And I was like, no, the name's, we already established 2 songs. I don't want to go backwards. Just keep the name Montecarlo. I'm cool with it. And we had to shoot a video for a song called Animal. We still didn't put together a band yet. We just were shooting a video. And we had Stan to come in for the video. And we had Rick Haas, you know, great guitar player in our area, who you know, was helping us out with some stuff too. And I played bass on the track, which Ahmed is our guitar player now, our other guitar player. And but it's funny because, you know, he played bass on that track because we were just grabbing musicians to fill in spots. And we had Jaron played on a tune on Super Double Fine on that record. You know, we had so many different musicians on the first 2 records. And
that seems to kind of be the formula nowadays, right? Folks kind of just put together projects. You start writing some songs. You see what clicks. You see who works well together, And if you start to get some traction with something and maybe put some more stuff behind it.
Yeah, and that happened. We Super Double Fine, half it was written before we got everybody in, and then everybody that we got in, because we're like, okay, I guess we got to play live now, because we weren't planning on it. We weren't planning to be a live band, and we're just going to be a studio band.
Well, no, that's what you got to do nowadays, right? Because usually,
yeah,
Dan and I were talking about this earlier. You can't make anything really on putting the product out anymore. You got to get out there and do the road thing, right?
Yeah, or the Weekend Warrior thing, at least.
Right, or the Weekend Warrior, right?
And we're spotty. Like, we'll play 3 months straight and did not play for 3 months. So it's we're a little, I guess, at our age bracket now, we're a little more picky and choosy to what we play. It's either got to be a great gig. If we make money,
it's got to be worth it.
Yeah, it's got to be worth it. Right.
Or it's got to be a cool lineup. If it's a cool lineup, we don't care. If it's a great lineup, we'll play there, if it's fun,
Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of some great lineups, so you've had a chance to open for some great bands. You opened for Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi.
Oh, he did. Damien's former band, he opened up.
Oh, Damien's former band, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've all opened up for different guys, but Dame had 2 really big ones.
Yeah.
We
he
all
was
did
going to join,
Guns
I think.
stuff, all that.
Yeah, he was going to join tonight, but he couldn't. So did he also play the Rocklahoma Festival shows? Is that what I was reading?
He's played that in his former band. He was in it. Yeah, he played it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So hopefully we'll catch some of that steam and we'll start getting some of that juice,
Yeah, that's why we're using his name.
yeah. We're gonna whore him right off.
right.
Yeah, but between Bert and I, with the LA Guns, Sebastian Bach, you name
Doro
it, any band that comes through Philly or Jersey, this Delaware Valley area, we've opened for. POC.
Yeah, and Steve Riley's got his own brand of LA Guns going on now. Which I talked to him a little while back. Some really great tracks. I hope he starts.
Yeah, I heard the first single was really good. It was real good.
Yeah,
I heard that about a month ago. It was good.
Yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear that? What was the other track? Rewind. Did you hear that one yet?
I didn't hear that one yet. No, I didn't.
Check that out. That was very cool. But I have a question. Yeah, so you guys decided to put a closing cover on. I think it was on Super Double Fine. You did a cover of Duran Duran's "All She Wants Is." Yeah. So tell me how that worked out. I was kind of interested to read that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if we do a cover live, we'll just do it the way it is, kind of. But Dame's got a thing where he's like, if we put a cover on the record or on the EP, it's got to be done our way. So the first EP we did that Roky Harrison song, that vampire song, and that was that one, and we changed it up a little bit, and it was different. Like, okay, let's try another one. And Dame actually worked on the music tracks and all that stuff with All She Wants. And he sent it to me. I'm like, you know what? This was never one of my favorite Duran Duran songs. I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. And I was like, let's do something different with it. So what he did was the tracks he took, I sang All She Wants, kind of my way, kept it the way it was, but did it my way. And then at the end of it, instead of going into the other verse, I went into Wild Boys to mesh it up, just so it was something a little fresh. And I love it now. Now it's like, now I like the song.
Now that you messed it up a little bit. And I think that's what a lot of bands have to do when they do that. When you do a cover, you need to make it stand out and kind of make it your own a little bit. I take it for an example, like when Metallica did Turn the Page from Bob Seger. Love the original Bob Seger song, right? So I wasn't sure what to expect when Metallica covers this, right? But I thought it sounded great. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that version.
That's the move. Like even like a band like Disturbed, doing with the Genesis song, when they did that Genesis song, it was great. That their version was great. It was a great song anyway. And they did their version and it had their that vocal.
Ghost is doing the same thing now. Ghost is doing some Genesis covers, which I was pleasantly surprised with their take on it, because Genesis very unique sound, right? So how are you gonna do that? But very cool. And you guys have been described what I've been reading as Velvet Revolver meets Alice in Chains. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah. Vocally, absolutely. I think vocally, definitely.
Bert can really do a lot vocally. I mean, he could sound kind of like more like a Axel, Vince Neil, and then he could go into something like Typo Negative or Alice in Chains, Scott Weiland. Those are some of his influences. So he really can put it all in a soup, make it his own thing without sounding like he's ripping people off or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
very
definitely
dynamic.
seem to be able to change it up. Both of you seem to be able to change it up, depending on how the song is. And I've always talked to musicians. They always said you play to the song to kind of fit the
Yeah.
song, and
Yeah.
not the embodiment of the band, but to play to the song.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you guys are doing with all this stuff.
As far as this new single, Poison in Your Head, like I can't, when I come up with a riff or something, it'll be like, either I'll come up with a name of this song, or I'll be like, this one is like, so this one I called it like Rat in Chains. So it kind of reminded me of both of those bands. So like some of the guitar in this Poison in Your Head song is like kind of influenced by like the Drop D songs from Rat, like You're in Love, what are the other ones? Lack of Communication and Lay It Down. So in that tuning and those kind of chords, and then I kind of built it on that. And then I also thought some of it sounded like Alice in Chains too. So I was like Rat in Chains, and then Bert comes up with, the title and the lyrics and stuff. So
yeah,
I really think it's a great track for sure. So did you do this recording a little bit at home, or did you go right into a studio? I know things have been so different, like, pre-pandemic, after pandemic, a lot of people do home mixing. I don't know how that went for you guys.
Yeah, our first EP and Super Double, Original Sin, first EP, and Super Double Fine, which was the full record, we did the main recording at home, and then Dave Pyron from Wombat Studios mixed it and mastered it. And next time we're like, you know what, we're going to go to Dave. Dave's a great guy, great engineer, great ear, and he wanted us to actually come in, and he took us on from the beginning. So he's like, why don't you guys come in? So we went in. He just finished up the Heaven's Edge record. So we went in to record with him, and I wish we did it before that, because it sounds huge compared to the other stuff. So that was the right move. The right move was to go with Dave from wombatstudio.org.
Excellent. Yeah, I really like it. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to actually check out the track for Poison in Your Head, and we'll be right back with these guys from Montecarlo on Talking About Rock.
Never, ever, ever
right, we're back here on Talking About Rock. Just checked out the track from Montecarlo there, Poison You Head. Great stuff, guys. I'm really, really liking it. Looking forward to the, the full release of the album. Maybe you'll give us a little taste of Synthetic World when it's coming out August 11th. And we already talked a little bit about some of the influences that you guys had. Dan, you were talking a little bit about them. Bert, can you tell us maybe some of your musical vocal influences that you've had?
Musically, my favorite band Kiss. Since I was a little kid, it was always Kiss. But
Dan and I
really
were just talking about that.
Yeah. But I don't have. This is actually the first band.
Nice.
Everybody in the band is a Kiss fan, which is the first band I've ever been in that everybody's a Kiss fan.
You're kidding me.
Swear to God.
What?
All of our
favorite.
It's
crazy.
bands.
Do they not understand? Dan and I were talking about this too. Do you not understand where the rock concert show concept came from?
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big Kiss fan, but I also my influence range from, Alice in Chains, Motley Crue, Godsmack, Typo Negative's a big one. Danzig's a big one.
Yeah.
I like the poppy metal stuff, but I also like the dark too. So I try and mix in, the Misfits. Like I try and mix in vocally whatever I think should fit with the song, and I go, reminds me of Ozzy, and I'll attempt my own version of it, which will never sound like it, but
right,
and that's what I come up with, But I think you definitely, if you listen to any of our tunes, you could probably go, hey, that reminds me of Stone Temple Pilots. Reminds me. So you could definitely hear the influences. But the one thing I do like about this group of guys is that it's not just, it's not everyone. Sometimes bands are great, but every song's kind of like, okay, it's a good song, but it's all the same. I think we kind of change it up enough where it's not, I don't want to say boring, but it's not the same thing,
Right. Definitely some of the bands, they would come out and when they would use the same formula and stuff, and you would get almost the same type of sound because they thought that's what was working, right? Yeah. And that actually kind of gets boring. But I have to put you on the spot for a second, Bert. So you brought up the name Motley Crue. Which way are you leaning towards? You leaning toward the Mick Mars camp, or you leaning away to the other camp, to the Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx camp? Just saying, which way are you leaning? You don't have to say anything more.
Yeah, Motley Crue's Motley Crue. It's like it's hard to replace a singer, and to go back to take a little back, the Karabi Crew record is fucking unbelievable.
I actually liked it.
It's great.
And it's hard. That's the hardest thing to change a singer, I think.
It's the hardest thing. Now, should they have called it Motley Crue? No, they should have probably called it something else. But with the Mick Mars thing, it's a weird situation because them guys are both. They're all near the end of their career, or maybe not the end of their writing career, but why change it now? John Five's an awesome guitar player.
Right. Well, it's I got to make money now tour, right? So
yeah. But it's like how many times you can do that now? It's like, and I'm a Motley fan, so, but it's to the point now where it's like, I don't know. It's a lot of bullshit for guys that are not kids anymore.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just hype. Is
that happens too?
Yeah. Is today's hype negativity online? Fighting online.
The one good thing that's going to come out of this, and if he's smart, he'll do it immediately, is Mick Mars puts out that record immediately while it's still hot.
I'm really waiting to hear that because I'm a Motley Crue fan. I think Mick Mars is an underrated guitar player. Doesn't get the due that he's owed. So I'm waiting to hear it too. Do I think that the rumors about Crue are true? What they were saying about the live performances, kinda. That's all I'm saying about that. So I will put you more on the spot with that one.
But I think at this point, it's even like with the Kiss stuff. At this point, I'm just happy they're still putting out music. If it's good, it's good. I don't care.
Gotcha. I totally understand. So Dan, you already talked a little bit about your influences, but let's talk about the gear you like to use, man. Every guitar player has like a little toolkit of cool stuff they like to check out, or new tools they got going on. What's some of your go-to stuff?
Anything I can afford, right?
Yeah.
So trusty Les Paul, can't go wrong with that, So that's always reliable. And LTD, I've been playing a lot lately. I have a PS 1000. It's like a semi-hollow body. It's cool. You
Right.
know, I have an Eclipse, an LTD Eclipse. I like those, you know, the LTD ESP guitars.
Right.
Bruce Kulick's one of my favorites, and he always used those.
You did.
Although I'm more kind of like an ace kind of player, but you know, I'm still practicing. We could always thrive to try to be as good as Bruce, but those are like my main guitars right now. I try to keep it real simple live because I like to move around a lot
Right.
and give
Right.
a show. If I'm constantly messing with all the pedals, it's like,
Right. That's what I was just going to say. The one question I always ask guitar players, are you a pedal
Yeah.
guy or are you a rack mounted guy? Because I remember it changed
mhm,
back in the day. Everybody was originally pedals. Then it went all
Yeah.
rack. Now it's
Right.
kind of going back to pedals or the all-in-one like pedal boards I see
Yeah.
a lot now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those look cool. Yeah, that might be easy. Nah, I just have like a tuner, a wah, like I just since sometimes I mix stuff out too, like
Yeah.
like a delay or something.
And our other guy, Ahmed, who also is a bass player and a guitar player, Ahmed just plugs straight in. He's just
Yeah.
plugged straight
No
in.
effects.
Sounds
He's
great.
just going straight.
Yeah,
Straight in.
it's
Straight in.
simple.
No distortion, really.
Distortion, yeah, just distortion.
Okay,
But
just
but
distortion.
he's pretty much whatever he gets out of this. I think he uses an orange. Does he use an orange? I believe he uses an orange.
Yeah, he's got a ton of pedals at home, but he likes to keep it simple live.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Me too, because I'm a performer. You know, that's what I
Right.
do.
Right. You want to have the room to do that. I totally understand.
Yeah.
So speaking
Mhm.
about performances, so what do you guys got coming up? Maybe you can tell us, Bert, you got any tour dates coming up, any gigs that you guys are going to be doing coming up, either in your area or wherever?
Right now, July 15th in Philadelphia, Northern Liberties, we're doing at the Ruba Room, which is our first time playing there. We haven't played at September. I don't have the exact date yet, but September
Nope,
we got
July
a gig at Tom
15th,
and
right?
Jerry's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
July 15th is the Ruba Room. Yeah.
Yeah.
July 15th is the Ruba Room, and September is Tom and Jerry's. And after that, there's a couple things brewing. None we can really talk about right now, but because it's not confirmed. But there's some other. We're trying to get on some bigger name shows right now. Like I said, we're trying not to play too many shows that are in our area. We kind of want to branch out. We kind of want to area.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. I totally understand it. But I heard Tom and Jerry's is a very cool place to play.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
So that should
Yeah.
be a really good gig for you guys.
Yeah, that's in Delaware County, right outside of Philadelphia. I guess it's right outside of Philadelphia, technically. And then that Ruba Room in July 15th, it's actually something called Odd Fest. So it's going to be vendors during the day, 1 p.m., bunch of cool, different, unique vendors. And then the bands will start at 6. So it's all day, all night. And
nice.
so it should be a cool event. And it's right in Center City, and Montecarlo will be, you know, there, as well as a few other great bands from, I think, all
And
from
you
the
could
Philly
actually
area.
August 11th, the CD. Well, August 11th, the record comes out worldwide. You know, we could stream it and stuff like that. But we will have the CD for that live gig. So if you're there, you could pick it up, you know, a couple of weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, and we'll have shirts, and we have shirts available. What is it, Bert? My Shopify?
My Shopify, I think it's /Montecarlo. Yeah. So
Monte
you
Carlo,
can get our
Monte
Shopify
Carlo band.
stuff on there. And we always have a ton of stuff live too that you can buy.
Very
Yeah,
good.
and then we're putting out a video for this song, Poison in Your Head, which you could stream anywhere right now. But we're just working with the director now to really finish up the final edit. So that should be out hopefully
weeks,
in a
probably,
week or
right?
two.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
going to ask
2
about that.
weeks.
Usually I play the video for the song
Yeah.
when you, but I know you guys are still working on it. So yeah, we'll wait to check that out. That should be very cool. So you can check out the
Yeah.
track now for Poison in Your Head. And that's streaming, I assume, like on all the services, right?
Are we at
Yes,
YouTube?
yes.
Yeah,
Whatever
We
you
also
got.
have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is under Dan Bert Entertainment, which is me and Damien shit, because we also do a podcast also. So we have all our stuff on there. So all the Monte Carlo stuff's on there, so we can keep it under one umbrella, so it's easy for everybody to find.
excellent, excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Folks out there, you can check out Synthetic World coming out from Montecarlo, August 11th. You can check out the new song streaming right now, Poison in Your Head, on all the streaming services. Very, very cool. All right,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Thank you again
Thanks
so
for having
much
us.
for joining us. Yeah, definitely. And if you folks out
Thanks,
there
Rob.
have
Thank you.
comments or questions, please feel free to email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. You can like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and TikTok. And for this interview, we'll be dropping to YouTube and all the streaming services very soon. Guys,
Cool.
Again, thanks so much.
Thanks
Thank
so much for
you.
having us, man.
Yep.